series of interviews with Zan. And I've been having a blast talking to Zan. Conversations with Zan. We're trying to give it a good fancy name. I actually wouldn't mind, if you guys really enjoy this, let us know, because maybe we'll do some more of them later. I still got a lot of topics we can cover and dig deep into. Rather than trying to, over an hour, lightly cover a bunch of topics, I love this idea of picking one topic and diving deep into it. And I'm having a lot of fun with it. And so the topic this week is all about creating a lifestyle where you're surrounded by women that just want to go have parties, house parties, hang out with you. And how Zan's done that over the years, how he's really created this lifestyle where women just love being around him and they can't wait to come to his events. And not only doing it when in your single life, but now doing it in a relationship and keeping it going and having it enhance his relationship and not detract from it. So let's dig in. What is for a guy out there that wants to do this, wants to get this started, and wants to start developing a lifestyle where he's surrounded by a lot of women, and what's the first thing you recommend?
Oh my goodness.
I'm not even sure where to dig in yet. I gotta dig in myself and play with this a little bit.
Me either. Well, we talked a couple of videos ago about having an inviting spirit. And to me, that's to extend it even further. I'm always inviting. That's all I do. Hey, nice to meet you. You should come with us. We're going to go to this place over here, or come meet my friend Brian. It's like always an invitation, always an invitation. And my house with my fiance is always filled with people. Like I go through my introversion stages where I want to think and write and scratch myself and sit there and look out the window, and everybody needs that. But in general, there's times when our place is filled with women and friends, and we play a big guitar. Somebody has a bit of wine.
I've been to these parties.
Yeah, and
there could be 5 people and they're still amazing.
Yeah, and it's not a constructed thing, or it's just it's just surrounding yourself with the energy of people you want to be around. And I've asked the girls, why do you come over here 3-4 nights a week? Come over here. You're just, why? She says, because I want to be in this energy of the ease and delight that you guys have in your home, and have fun and forget my troubles, and I have that here. So what we represent, I think, in that space is an escape from the normal. It sounds so cliche.
We really cultivate this.
Yeah, on purpose. I cultivate it.
Yeah.
I make sure. I'll tell you, this is the kind of stuff that nobody knows. Because I'll tell you what it is, Brian. And this is the kind of thing I try and teach guys in the Castlerock experience if they're working with me one-on-one, right? It's like how to go back into your hometown, Cincinnati or whatever, and how to cultivate that where you are, in your space. And the idea is that, how do I express this? In my place, could be 5 people, could be 15 people, you'll never see somebody sitting quiet. By that I mean, because I'm watching everything, right? I'm like like the conductor of the orchestra. And if I see somebody sitting back like this and nobody's talking to him or her, or looking at their phone, instantly, in the middle of the conversation I'm having here, I cut it off and I'll say, Brian, come here. Did you meet this girl yet? And even if it's just, it's a room. Did you meet this girl yet? I bring all the energies back into the center constantly, and I've noticed that anybody that has a social life, they're doing that constantly. They're always checking in. They're making sure nobody is not included.
Yeah, you did that just at the Fiesta experience, the party. Yeah. As soon as I walked in the door, I mean, I've known Zan for years, been to many of his parties. I barely got in the door, and you're like, Brian, big hug.
Gotta meet these girls.
Then you're like, Deanna's right there. You gotta say hi to her. Then so-and-so's over here. And then immediately I'm like talking to 3 or 4 women within a minute of being in the door.
Yeah.
And it's just flying from there.
And that's the essence of it. I'm always making sure that everybody is included. I keep the energy in my house, in a house party or whatever, that if I'm the guy in charge of it, even kind of if I'm not, I keep the energy of everybody in the center. So it's like, so everyone's out here. It doesn't mean we're all having a cross conversation. It's just that somebody is feeling in their head, because I'll have some students come over to my house sometimes, right? And you can see them get in their head. You know what I'm talking about, right? And you can see them kind of shrinking a little bit.
Especially if they're new and they're just like,
yeah, and they're like, and I include them. Come here. Tell you some stories. Come here, and include them in too. You're as integral a part of this energy, this social energy, as anybody else. And so I make sure, and I also do this. If I see two people sitting on a couch in my place and they're paired off and they're talking like this, blah 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 blah, I break it. Hey, you guys, get here. I bring the energy into the center all the time because I want to have the celebration energy of it, the celebration, and make sure nobody is in their head and nobody feels unincluded. Because you know why? Because I was unincluded all my life. I always felt like didn't belong here. These people are all cool. These guys are cool. They know what to say. They're funny. The girls are laughing at their jokes, and I'm in my head. I know what to say, and that shrinking, that feeling of I don't know. And so even if this guy is shy or nervous, which I was, and I was all those things, I don't want them to feel that if I can help it. So you come with me. That's why I'll see a guy like at Fiesta Morada. We had this big party, which was Friday night, and a lot of girls there. And I see one of the Amorati guys. He's kind of standing there by himself. You come with me. Let's go. Let's walk around and talk to other girls. I make sure that he's engaged too. Let's go talk to girls. You and me, brother. Let's go. And that spirit is what makes a social life exist.
it makes people want to come back.
People want to come back and to be seen again and be included in it.
I get
It's
that.
the secret of it. That's all it is.
And so let's talk about this in relationship to a single guy versus you who's now engaged.
Yeah.
As a single guy, you're doing this. Actually, I want to step back even further. I want to step back to a previous video. The second video we did in this series was talking about beauty needs a witness. And I think to make this work, and you tell me if I'm accurate in this from the way I'm hearing you, is you have to be good at that step. Because if you're inviting, you have to be witnessing, to be in really well, to be good at inviting, to get the people there. And then during the whole event, you have to constantly be witnessing the beauty of all the people, the men and the women.
Yeah.
And then introducing that beauty to each other.
Yeah.
Am I linking these pieces right?
Yeah, absolutely. Like you have to have the empathy for somebody to be able to want to include them into the conversation.
Yeah.
Like a lot of guys are exclusionary. I like this girl. I don't want this guy, harshing my mellow here, breaking into my set. So they're like this, and it's their buddy. Mm-hmm. But they kind of like, I'm talking to this girl. I don't have that in me at all. When I first met Deanna, 6-year anniversary was last weekend. We had an Almighty conference 6 years ago, and I first met her. And I brought her. I didn't know this girl. She didn't know anybody. And I threw her into there was a house party in my house with all the Almighty guys, these cool guys from all over the world. And I brought her up there. She doesn't know a soul. And I threw her into the pile of guys. Jordan and all those guys were there. I said, Jordan, this is Deanna. And I threw her in there. And then I walked off into the other room. Mm-hmm. Just walked in, threw her into the walls, went over there because I want to know that she's there fully engaged with me. Anyway, so I love the feeling of that this is my girl. And did you meet Brian yet? Come here, Brian. I just met this girl. This is Maria. Maria, this is Brian. Because I want it. And if she looks at him and says, and takes her eyes off me and looks at Brian, and they connect with each other, it's not my girl anyway. It's not my girl. So I want to see that. I want to feel that energy of it. So I'm always inclusive.
You're always letting go too.
Yeah.
You're letting go of all attachment constantly, which then allows you to be the ultimate host.
But don't forget, because it's easy to say, let's just let go of all attachments. But if a guy is horny or lonely, it's almost impossible.
But I think in the power and the way you're doing it is by letting go of attachments and being still turned on, grounded, solid, connected guy. Of course, a lot of those women come back towards you. They turn back on.
Your girls are your girls, and nobody can break it.
Where that wouldn't work is if the guy doesn't have his energy straight. Then
the guy said to me, what if Deanna came to that party, she just met you, you know her for like an hour, and you threw her into the El Mirati guys, and she meets somebody who starts talking and they connect and hit it off, and you lose her. Is that a bad thing? I don't think so. If those two come together and and even if I like the girl, I'm like, well, it's not my girl, but Brian's over there with her and she sure likes him. To me, that's a cool thing to happen. Well,
you're basically surrendering to the trusting that there's a bigger plan.
Yeah,
and
that's
it'll
what it is.
all work out. Yeah.
You trust the process, that's for sure.
Yeah, which then allows you to just be happy and have fun.
Yeah, so that whole thing is like, it's because I was always the one I was the last one picked on the team in school.
Yeah.
I was the dork, the chess playing nerd that nobody wanted to play with, right? And I don't want that for anybody else. So if anybody's near me at all that is sincere and part of our experience and part of our they're not the skeptical guys standing around like this, I don't know, but they're sincere and they want to know, then I want them included. I want them to learn. I want them to see, come here, let's go talk to the girls. You watch the way I talk to the girls. Watch this. I say it to guys in the bar all the time. Come here, watch this. And I go over to and it's fun for me. I like to share that because I didn't have anybody. I didn't have anybody to take me, put their arm around me and say like, let's go do this and I'll show you how it's done. Didn't have it.
Now, at these parties, when you do this, you bring everybody together and you're a natural, I would say you seem like developed into a natural Warren flirt. And you run around the party and you flirt with all the girls constantly.
Oh yeah.
And make all the guys feel invited, flirt with the girls. Yeah. And so you're constantly doing that beauty as a witnessing their beauty and making it and making them feel beautiful. And you give them these I watch you go in, you give them these little bouts of almost like charge, and then you go on to the next and you float over here and you float over here. And I feel like one of the secrets to what you're doing here is you're making them feel so good all night and accepted that they can't help but want to come back 2-3 nights a week, 4 nights a week. It's like, I just love going to Zan's house.
Yeah, we had at the Almirati conference we just did, we had a woman from the UK who's a famous matchmaker. She came in, she was one of the speakers at our event. And she asked me, she said, what's the secret to your relationship with Deanna? Like, why is it such a powerful 6 years? Or it was a 6-year anniversary on the party you're at, right? Mm-hmm. It's because, and I answered to her, it's because I have my own trajectory through life. I'm trying my spiritual path, which is trying to understand.
And I want to say, when you say 6 years of them two being like super happy and getting
since we met each other, yeah.
You're not like 6 years, okay, they got by 6 years. No, this is, they actually are a very good couple, so.
Yeah, it's just, why is it such a dynamic thing? And I thought about it, and you look, if you saw us at the conference, or you saw us at the party where we're at, or you see us in a bar where we're at, I'm over here talking to these guys and meeting these girls, and Deanna's over there hanging out with Nico and Jordan, all the guys, and yet we never disconnect. Like, that's my girl over there, and every now and then I'll give her one of these little things. I see you, baby, don't worry. And it's a laser between us, or like a wire between us that cannot be broken. But you never see us, like, you'll never see me standing around with my arm around my girl walking to the park. Yeah. Go and be beautiful and young. That's how I feel. Go be young. Go let the guys flirt with you and go flirt. And I'm over here and nothing's broken. Ever, 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 ever. I don't change myself for anybody, and I don't dial myself down for any. I love women.
So
my whole life.
What's the secret? And this is the big secret. You've got this girlfriend that loves you, and yet she is perfectly fine with bringing all her friends around you, even though you're a consummate flirt, and you tell all the girls they're beautiful and sexy.
I look at their skirt. Hey, wear short skirt. I tell her, come to my house, wear short skirt, girls. And tell them all the time.
How do you get a girl that doesn't mind that you do that, that loves you?
It is, you know what? It's created. There you go. It's not something I found the perfect girl and I'm the perfect guy. It's co-created, but it's a conscious effort to make sure that no matter what, she knows she's the queen of your heart. She's the lily above all the lilies in the field. And it's by the little drops of attention and noticing that you do throughout the day, throughout your weeks, throughout your months. So she feels, women, we think that women would be upset if you look at other women. They are not upset if you look at other women, and even women will complain and say, I don't agree with you, but it's true. If they feel like the only place in your heart is her, she has the only place in your heart. She doesn't mind you talking to these girls over here, because and I say it all the time, that's my girlfriend over there. Look at her in the red dress. That's my beauty. What's your name again? And so women, it's a conscious thing so that no matter what, you never look, that thread is never broken. You never turn your eyes away from your girl. I wrote in my book that, a wife and a husband, for instance, could, how do I say it? If you cheat on your wife, we think it's the sexual act of like exposing your genitals to each other. You could have been blind drunk and don't remember her, didn't even like her body, you still had sex with her, right? Because, right? You cheated on her. What would be what would your wife be more jealous about? You having this drunk, blind sex with this girl, I don't even care about her, and I still love my wife and kids, right? And I'm sorry, etc. Or you sat and you looked at the moon and the stars with this girl and sat close to her and didn't have sex with her, but you sat close and you connected and bonded and talked about your childhood and stuff like that. What is it your wife going to be more jealous about? For sure, the second one.
Yeah.
So the jealousy is not that other women. The jealousy is you taking your face. If you turn your face away from your woman and look at someone else, that's what it is. And I never, even if I'm talking to all these girls, hey, come here, hey, I didn't meet you yet. What's your name? Brian, come and meet these girls. And I'm talking, flirting with all the girls. My face is never turned away from the face of my girl. She's over there.
Yeah.
It never changes. Long subject. I wrote a book about it.
Alabastagirl.com. Check it out. And I think what you just said there is key. And I think I see a lot of guys, they try to do this stuff when they first start out. They try to say, I'm gonna do it, but they do it with, and this is the key between you and them that I've noticed, is they do it with a sense of insecurity. Is this gonna work? How's she looking? Is she mad? I'm trying with this girl. And then they look back, baby, you're the one, but they don't say it like you do. They say it like, baby, you're the one. Okay, I did my check-in, now I'm back with this girl. And, and you have to actually feel it. And that's what I was feeling with that.
But that's how I have my social energy doesn't change if I'm single. When I was single with Deanna, I'm the same guy. Yeah. And if I go out with you guys at a party or something, we're going to a lounge or a bar or something, I'm the same guy. I see girls, hey, pretty girls, come talk to us. Yeah. But it doesn't change, and I would never violate that laser connection with my girl. I adore my girl, you know.
So you never create that connection with another girl. You make a girl feel beautiful, but then you move on. And she knows that difference.
Oh yeah. Women know the difference because I tell them, this is my girlfriend, you're gonna love her. Deanna, come here, meet these girls too. I'm the same.
And then what she gets out of it that's also beautiful is she invites all her best girlfriends over all the time. They get to hang out at the house with her. You feel great, she feels great. Yeah. Also, when you invite guys over, you have no trouble introducing them to her and saying, telling her to flirt with them a little bit. And it creates this dynamic, this charge, doesn't it?
I have this feeling, because guys are like protective and say, oh, I don't want my girl to go out with the girls and don't wear that short skirt, and they get all protective and jealous, right? Deanna has her own social life in that she's in the theater world, right? She works in the theater world, which I'm not a part of. I don't know anything about the theater world. So she hangs out with the famous actors and stuff all the time. And they have little gatherings, and somebody's birthday party, she goes. And I never once said, hey, Deanna, maybe can I come to one of these things? That's her world, her spiritual path, her art, And I want her to feel young and pretty. I want her to feel, because it doesn't last. It doesn't last.
Yeah, that's super true.
And so I want her to
and she's going to remember that as she gets older.
Yeah, I want her to feel noticed, and I want her to be seen, and I want her to feel young and pretty. Because the moment she doesn't feel young and pretty anymore is when the internal routine kicks in and discomfort sets in. So I want her to be like she's going to the party. Wear that little dress. The guys are going to love you. Go, baby. And I'm proud of that. I'm proud of my girl.
Yeah, it's interesting. This talk's turning into a little bit of a talk about relationships, but I think this is super powerful stuff. Let's jump back to the topic a little bit because I think that's a great topic. We could probably actually do another video on that at some point. But the topic of parties, for somebody out there, he's sitting there and he's like, I want to build this lifestyle. Yeah. How do you recommend, we've talked about how you do it. How do you recommend he get started? Like, he's never done it before. He wants to set something up.
It's not easy because you could put out a bunch of Facebook invitations. Hey, I'm going to have a party on Friday night. There's going to be booze and food. And girls won't come. They won't come.
People do it all the time.
Yeah, right. And they try and nobody comes.
It's an art.
We did an experiment one time when we lived in Warsaw. We had in a week I had 100 girls added on Facebook, right? And so we're gonna have this party. And so on Tuesday or Wednesday, I sent out this one-by-one invitation as an experiment to 100 girls, roughly. Said, hey, we're gonna have this party. Bring your girlfriends. There's gonna be a lot of cool guys there. Blah 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 blah. And come on Friday night this time. Of the 100, 30, in other words, 30% or whatever, right? 1/3 would responded back and said, "Oh, can I bring a friend, or should I bring anything, or what should I wear?"
Yep.
In other words, 30 of their okay.
At first, I thought you said 30 showed up.
Can I show up?
Right.
No. Can I be an hour late? Does it matter? And so 30 will respond in a favorable way. You think, oh, I'm gonna have 30 girls here, right?
Yeah.
Of the 30, 3 would come. Out of 100.
You did that. You did that once, right?
No, I did it a couple times. I want to know this.
And stay pretty consistent.
3% of the girls you invite will come.
Wow.
Imagine that. And it's like, well, why wouldn't these girls come? Everything's provided for them. And it's not why girls go to parties. And I used to say, we got this great group of international men, you're gonna love it, you know? Women, what you learn is women don't wanna go where the men are. They wanna go where the women are. Nobody knows this. Nobody knows this. Women wanna go where the beautiful girls are going to go, because women dress up in their little Prada and all that kind of, for girls, not for guys. They wanna be seen by the girls and be compared and competing with the girls. The girls go to parties where all the girls are going. And then the guys will automatically go there anyway. They don't go to parties where there's a bunch of guys. A good example is, you ask any of the girls you know in your life, if you say, listen, come over, we're gonna watch the Super Bowl and we're gonna eat some popcorn stuff like that, the girls will come in sweats and a ponytail. But if there's gonna be any other girls there and she discovers that, now she's gotta get ready. Now she's gotta get dressed out, gotta put makeup on her because there's other girls gonna be there. Nobody knows this, but it's true. You hang around the guys, she can just be.
Or the only exception to that, I think, would be is if there's a guy there she really likes.
Yo, that could be true too. Yeah.
Say, oh, so-and-so's gonna be there? Suddenly.
Yeah. So having, like, you're living in Boston and you want to say, okay, I want to create this social energy, this house parties like that. The only thing I can say is to just constantly have an inviting spirit, constantly being inviting, and constantly, you don't need to put on a big production, the big show, and like put the curtains just right, and I have this party, and you sit there with your party balloon and nobody shows up.
Yeah.
You don't want that. You just bring people into the space. Listen, we're going to sit around, play guitar, and keep inviting and bring in spaces, bring your girlfriends. And it slowly grows over
So maybe you start with, you get 3 people there one night. And
could be you and 2.
But if you have wine and music and you make it fun, you do it again, and maybe the next week it's 3. Then
and everyone feels included.
Yeah, everyone feels included. You get it up to 5 one week, and eventually you start to figure this out.
Yeah, and then someone will bring her sister, and can my friend come? Of course.
Yeah.
And it builds and it expands. But the other thing, which is an entire new video, is the logistics of it all. If you're in Boston and you're in the suburb that's a 45-minute whatever ride away from any kind of energy, people are not going to necessarily go there, especially if it's a Friday evening. And you say, come to my place and we'll start there and we'll go out. It's too far.
Yeah.
So logistics is the number one thing that messed me up in all my life. Is meeting girls, or I like that girl. What happened? Logistics messed it up. Can't because of this.
And what do you think of this? And I wonder if you've applied this, and I'm guessing you have, is that when you're asking, the best way I think to really get prime the pump and get it started is to not just be you asking, but asking with the girl. Like, have a girl with you.
Oh yeah.
Be flowing with a pretty girl, and she's like, oh yeah, my girlfriend.
Oh yeah. The best wingman is always a girl.
Yeah.
Always a girl. I used to take I had a dentist buddy, and his fiance. I used to grab his girl, and his fiance would say, Chris, I'm taking your girlfriend. Take her on my arm and walk around and meet girls. I don't mention her. She's just smiling and comes around with me, right? I just take her on my arm. Hey, what's your name? I didn't meet you before. And the girl's looking over at my buddy's fiance. Who's this guy that comes to introduce himself with a girl in his arm? I did it because it was fun.
That would be fun. That's a good idea. I want to do that.
And I don't explain, this is my friend. I just like, hey.
Now, you could do the same thing for parties. You could just grab a girl. She could even be married and just a friend of yours, and she could, or if you're in a relationship, say, hey, just come around.
Absolutely.
I'm just going to invite girls to my party. You just hang out in my arm.
Absolutely. Try and get a girl with you because it signals that, number one, you're not a creep, because some other pretty girl is spending time with you. You're obviously not offensive, you're not going to make her afraid. So all that's gone out the window as soon as you walk up with a pretty girl who's smiling and enjoying your company. And you obviously got something going on for you. So, hey, best wingman is always a woman. I don't care if it's just a friend of yours. Always try and go up with a girl.
It's also such great practice. You can spend the whole time flirting with her, joking with her, learning just being in the presence of a beautiful woman if you don't have much experience, even if she's just a friend, just be around them.
Yeah.
Like, and you can learn so much. And the guys have a hard time being just friends with women. And I get it. If that's all that ever happens is you're just nothing but friends with women, that sucks. But having some female friends, especially when you're good with women, is I think is a must. You know, you can still tell them they're beautiful and sexy and gorgeous, but you can still also just be their friend. And I think that's one of the things I see with you. You may have no sexual intentions. You may have a fiance taken, but you're still telling them you're beautiful.
Oh yeah, I mean, like you look at the girls I know here, like good friends of mine that are in my house all the time. They're like sisters to me. And I always take one and come, let's be pretty. Let's walk around the bar. Let's go meet girls. Come out.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah. I see you do it.
Yeah. That's fun.
And you love to do it. Yeah.
Yeah.
And so and I think that lifestyle is actually just an amazing lifestyle because it keeps you young.
Yeah.
It keeps
you. And it like it's not a large lifestyle. It doesn't mean like have these giant, Fitzgerald type of parties. It's like there could be 3 people in the house and can I get, what would you like to, would you like some wine? What would you like to, and you just sit and you enjoy the company of each other.
And that's the key is you don't see 3 people as a failure and the average guy does.
Not a chance.
You see it as like, let's break out wine, let's break out music, let's laugh and play all night. Just like we're 3 people hanging out as best friends.
Yeah.
And turn it into best friends singing songs together. And those 3 people will want to come back.
Absolutely.
Because
they bring others.
Yeah, and then they bring a few more.
Yeah.
Because, and it's not, I think your attitude towards the party is what makes it a party failure.
Yeah.
Not anything else.
Yeah, it's interesting. I'll tell a quick story. There was a well-known dating coach that came and lived here for a time, for like 6 or 7 months. And I always invited him, hey, come hang out with us again, right? Good guy. And he would come over like once every 2 weeks. And he had an apartment here, blocks away. And he'd come there and he'd sit there and he'd just look around and he said, I don't get it, Zan. He says, like, I come here and you guys are like, playing guitars and this house is filled with women all the time. My house is filled with guys on computers. They're like editing, split testing, SEO, I said, well.
I think I know who you're talking about.
Yeah, I know you do. Good guy too.
Yeah, I mean, he was hardworking.
Yeah,
he was awesome.
Your house is filled with women, because that's what I want.
Yeah. And if you focus on what you want and keep appreciating it, witnessing it, and getting all those energies we talked about, all in the previous videos, which you need to watch, then it all starts to multiply because that.
Having said that, he had a lot more students and was much more successful commercially than I was.
And sometimes that's often the case.
Yeah.
The guys who sometimes make the most money are the ones who aren't necessarily doing it. And
well, that is true too.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, with that said, is there anything else you want to add to this topic?
I don't think so. My voice is getting a little harsh, so I hope you enjoyed the 4-part series. Get my book.
Let's give them the information, the websites and everything.
The book is called The Alabaster Girl. Put a nice review on Amazon. I'll send you a copy for free. I'll sign it and send it to you. Might take a few weeks to get to you. If you go to alabastergirl.com, and all you have to do is pay for the shipping. And if you pay for the shipping, I'll send you out a copy. As long as I've got copies, I have to have, I think, we have 1,000 left, I think. So, or maybe less than that now. So, but as long as they last, I'll send out a copy, and I would like to hear your feedback and what you think about the book.
And so make sure to check out Zan's website. Make sure to check out his events, get his book. He's also got a great membership site, Amirati.
We have the Amirati,
yeah,
which is fake Latin too. The Amirati are the guys who have taken the 90-day application process basically to become an Amirati. The Ars Amirata Fundamentals course. It's a 90-day course. And he graduated as a member of the Amirati, which is, we just had a conference here. We had men from all over, from as far away as, Australia here, just this last weekend. And so we have conferences twice a year, free conferences for our members, and we move them around from city to city. We had it in Las Vegas, Warsaw, Amsterdam, and the next one's going to be in Copenhagen in the fall. So,
and it's awesome because when think about it. You go through this 90-day fundamental, you become an Emirati, then you come to these free conferences, you're going to get invited to potentially parties maybe.
Yeah.
You hang out, you get to meet Zan, you get to see some of what I'm talking about in action.
Yeah.
And
cool.
Experience it with
good brotherhood.
With the brothers that are part of the Emirati too. So I highly recommend that. So get on the website, check that out, get signed up for the 90-day conference, get the book. Start to get the feeling of that book, because that book really conveys powerful feelings I talked about in the first video, the feeling of what it is to really appreciate love and enjoy women and to be an attractive man. And it comes across very fast. So check that out. One of the things I actually recommended recently, which I found very powerful, is to read some of that book. And then when you get a good sense or feeling of something in the book, like, wow, I'm feeling something here, then stop and enjoy that feeling for 10 minutes and then journal about it a little bit. Journal your realizations, what's coming up, and then go back when you're ready and read some more. And this will start to solidify the feeling inside your nervous system and start to make it grow.
That's a nice thing to say. Thank you.
Yeah, not a problem. That's what the book does. It is a primer. I don't know any other books that are really a primer. They're all how-to. And that's what makes it unique.
Yeah.
So check the book out. And with that said, if you like the video and you got some value, make sure to give us a thumbs up, give us a like. And if you haven't subscribed yet, make sure to subscribe. Also, make sure to comment. And we love your comments. We love to hear what you think of the video. And we love to hear what you want more of also. And we're constantly checking the comments to respond to your comments. With that said, remember, only the confident really live. See you in the next video.